Oh yes, baby. I still can't do a Chewbacca roar. Oh my god. Oh yes, okay, so we're down at St James, at St Jimmy's. We've got a hurricane, tail end of a hurricane coming, so that's why my hair's all over the place, although it does need a cut. I'm just going to pop in the entertainer quickly, and then we're going to go and pop into Cineworld, and I'm going to watch a film, as it's very poignant because it's 100 years to the end of World War One. So slightly different. I'm going to go and watch a film about these brave soldiers, American soldiers, British soldiers, parachuting down out of these planes behind enemy lines, who are then going to get their faces eaten off by zombies or some kind of shit. That's right, I'm going to go and see Overlord from J.J. Abrams' company. Big Bad Robot. So let's go into entertainer, and then let's pop over to Cineworld and watch some face-eating shit, zombies or some kind of crap, I don't know. Okay, so we've got some Princess Leia and some Rey figures here. Let's have a look, see what we've got over on this side. We've got lots of the regular Star Wars figures, all reduced down to about £3. And we still stick with some Star Wars stuff here. Got a Kylo and a Rey double pack there, very nice. Plus the Jax Pacific. Looks like they've only got those two in. Millennium Falcon Heroes, is that? But you also have some Incredibles figures and some toys here. This nice little figure pack here, which is the kind of thing you'd see in the Disney store. So let's have a wander down here, see what we've got. We've got some Transformers, lots and lots of Transformers stuff here, including Bumblebee. On the other side of the aisle, we've got some more Star Wars stuff. Black figures there, the Black Series figures, reduced down to £15. Plus also like multi-packs and things like that. Some lightsabers down the bottom there. Oh look, with the recent news that we're getting a Rogue One prequel series. Fantastic. Cassian Andor. Let's go and have a look around the pops. Oh, before we get to the pops, we've got all the Jurassic World on the end here with all the cars, figures and stuff like that, all the little dinosaurs. So that's very nice. So yes, here we are at Funko. Lots of unusual ones, not exactly movie ones. So we have got things like Aladdin there, but a lot of these ones I'm not familiar with, characters I'm not familiar with. So what we'll do, we'll go around to the other side, and this is where all the movie ones are, and the Star Wars ones. We've got the limited edition Resistance BB unit there. What else have we got down there? We've got some 007, some Despicable Me. So yeah, quite a lot of pops in here. Okay, so yesterday I went to see the new World War II / zombie flick, Overlord. I think that's what you could call it. And I have to say, I thought it was a really good executed, oh no, that's a bad word to use, isn't it? A really good executed, as I say, World War II film meets kind of like Frankenstein zombie type shit. Now the film's directed by Julius Avery, and it stars, let's see if I can get all these right, Jovan Adipo as Bryce, Pilu Isbak as the German officer Waffner, John Magaro as Tibbet, who's kind of like the comedy relief of the movie, and also stars Matilda Olivier as Chloe, who's kind of like a French resistance fighter in this little village where the parachutists drop down. And when we first met her, I was thinking that the first line that was going to come out of her mouth was, listen carefully. I will say this only once. But yes, very good. The film starts out with one of the most impressive battle sequences I have seen in years. I mean, this is on board. All these soldiers are on board the bombers as they fly towards France. And you've seen it before, but the way they set it up was like at the beginning of Saving Private Ryan, when Tom Hanks and all the rest of the soldiers were in those landing craft, all waiting, you know, to land on the beach. So it's very impressive. Bloody bombers everywhere, loads of bombers. They also showed shitloads of like sea support, destroyers and all that kind of stuff. Very impressive stuff. And it kind of was for about 15 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes maybe, kind of like the airborne equivalent of that opening scene in Saving Private Ryan. It had that much of an impact. I mean, the theatre I was in was bloody loud. And, you know, it's like they turned the bloody subwoofers up to 20. As they were sitting on these bombers, just the sound of the bombers was vibrating the cup in my cup holder. And I could feel my chair shaking like that. I wasn't in any 4DX cinema or anything. It was just a standard cinema. But it was such an impressive sound. And kind of shook you, which was really surprising. So that, I mean, after that scene, I was like, oh my God, we're on a roll here. Get some mid-air battles and all that kind of thing. Well, basically what the film is, I'm not going to go too much into spoilers, but it's a group of soldiers that have to parachute down to this little village in France, make their way to this village. And there's this old church with a radio tower that they've got to destroy the radio tower in order to get the signals out to the rest of the bombers to come in, the fighters, the destroyers, and also so that they can land on the beach. So in a way, you can imagine that this is exactly happening the same time that Tom Hanks is coming up to the beach. And that if they don't pull that off and destroy that radio tower, then maybe nothing will happen in Saving Private Ryan. They'll all be killed straight away. So a lot of it is at the beginning is like creeping through the jungle, you know, at night, you know, after they've parachuted down, and they stumble on this weird looking, I don't know whether it's a corpse or a skeleton, all that type of thing, and they're not sure what it is. You know, is it a dog? Is it some kind of wolf? What is it? And then they come to the French village and they get sort of like set up there. While they're plotting out going into the church and all that kind of thing for the radio tower, they need to find a way to blow this shit out of this tower. One of them, Bryce, played by Jovan Adipo, stumbles onto this yard where the church is through the gates, and he stumbles onto this kind of like underground network of all tunnels, and it's like a giant prison. But it's also very Frankenstein, because there's like these massive labs with all these contraptions, and it's like people strung up and tubes and all that kind of stuff. And you can hear all these screams. People keep getting taken out, you know, undercover on gurneys and things, you know, taken out and then disposed of, that kind of thing. So you're thinking maybe they're like, you know, they're just doing away with the townspeople, you know, like they were killing all the Jews and all that. Maybe they're just killing all the French townspeople. But then it gets a little bit more sinister, and it's basically, like I say, it's a bit Frankenstein. So they find that the Germans are actually performing medical experiments on the local population in order to create these super duper unkillable, healable, maybe soldiers that, you know, will enable them to win the war. And, you know, it's like the 1,000-year Reich and all that kind of thing. It could have been worse. There could have been werewolves of the Third Reich. But yes, it was really impressive. There was a lot of gore, a lot of like bones being broken. necks being snapped back, all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't too much. It's an 18 certificate, which I'm surprised it was an 18, because they probably could have got away with a 15. It wasn't overly... I've seen worse on The Walking Dead. But yes, very impressive. Lots of action set pieces, lots of mystery, very dank, dirty, underground facilities dripping from the ceiling and just dirty. You kind of think, yeah, this is definitely World War II. This is definitely the Nazis doing whatever they do. And because Hitler was like a nut for the occult, you can understand this kind of thing. You never know. They might have really actually tried to do this kind of thing back then. You don't know. So yeah, it's a really good paced movie. Wasn't boring in any places. It's just a good war horror roller coaster ride, basically. And I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it. There were two people that came in, a little old lady and a little old man, that sat down near the front. And while the trailers were happening, I was thinking, okay, do they really know what this film really is? Because maybe they'd only seen part of the trailer of the World War II setting, the soldiers, the battle at the beginning. Do they know what they're getting into? No, they didn't. Halfway through the film, they walked out. Oh my God, you can't make this shit up. But yeah, that was funny. But there were a few other elderly people in there, but obviously they knew what shit they were getting into. But these poor old sots, they probably thought they were going to see some armistice thing. Bless them. But, oh, they can have some nightmares tonight. But yes, bless them. So the cast. Jovan, I mean, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing any of these names right. Jovan Adepo, who played Bryce, which is the black guy. He did a really good job. He was really good in this. John Magaro, who played Tibbet. He's kind of like the shorter comic relief soldier from Chicago. That kind of, you know, the grew up on the streets of Chicago, telling stories of baseball and all that kind of stuff. That's the, I mean, there's been a character like that. There was one in Band of Brothers. I think there's probably one in Saving Private Ryan. So, Matilda Olivier, who played Chloe, the French resistance, or I think she might have been a French resistance leader. If not, then she was just someone that lived in the little village. But she did a really good job. She kind of shined more than anybody else, but she did some hand-to-hand combat and some arse-kicking and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty good. Pilo, sorry if I get this wrong, but Pilo Asbak, who played Wafner, W-A-F-N-O-R, I think it is, Wafner. He's like the leader of the German soldiers there. He's like, I don't know whether he was a general or anything like that, but he was in charge of the facility of the area. And he takes a shine to Chloe, you know, very kind of came across a little bit at the beginning of gentlemanly, trying to persuade her that he's a good guy and that she needs to get to know him. But things turn a bit more sinister and a little bit more involved, hands-on, if you know what I mean. So far as he was a good actor. I've never heard of him before, but he was really good. He was good as like a slimy Nazi general kind of thing that you get in these films. Not exactly as sinister as Ralph Fiennes in Schindler's List, but still slimy. Slimy Nazi. But later in the movie, one particular thing happens, and he becomes this psychotic, absolute psychotic monster. And he's really good. He's really good on screen. I I don't want to go into it because it kind of like give it away. But yes, he's really good. He's really good. I think personally, out of the whole cast, I think probably him, Pilo, Asbak and Jovan Adipo, I think they were probably the best of the cast. So yes, I had a thoroughly good time. Lots of action, lots of adventure, lots of gore, a few comedy moments. One hell of a bloody opening battle scene, which is gonna, when that comes out on 4K and Blu-ray, that is gonna be a system reference scene. You know, that's going to be something that you're going to have to put on. I hope it comes out in like Atmos or DTSX. But yes, that is one bloody opening scene. Yes, I'm definitely going to buy it when it comes out, because it's really a good film. You don't think that it's going to be that much, you know, from the trailer, because they kind of made the trailer very tongue-in-cheek, kind of like Iron Sky type of warped shit, that kind of thing. Part of it is, but it's still a really good film from J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Company. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give the film 8, because I really did thoroughly enjoy the movie. I might not necessarily go and see it again, because I've got other films to go and see, but it's one that I'm definitely going to buy, and it will be a repeated seeing when I've got it in the home. So yes, so I hope you enjoyed my little non-spoilerish review of Overlord. Don't go into it thinking it's like Band of Brothers or Saving Private Ryan, because you're going to get the wrong take on it, just like that poor old couple. But you have to understand that it's kind of like supernatural as well. So yes, I hope you enjoyed my little review. Like the video by giving it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye everyone.